We all know the drill. You board a flight, pull out your credit card, and pay $20 to stare at a spinning connection wheel. You are miles in the sky, completely disconnected, hoping the network will at least let a single plain text email through before the signal drops over a mountain range. But Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines are actively dismantling that experience. Following the merger, the combined carrier has begun rolling out complimentary Wi-Fi across their fleets. The technical specifications are high. They are delivering up to 500 megabits per second to individual aircraft. This allows passengers to stream 4K video, join live video calls, and play online games in the air, matching the performance of a high-end fiber connection in a typical living room. To pull this off, the airlines have bypassed traditional ground-to-air cellular towers entirely, integrating their entire fleet with SpaceX's Starlink satellite network. Providing this level of speed at no cost changes the math for the rest of the industry. Every other airline still charging $15 or $20 for low-bandwidth access is suddenly at a significant disadvantage. To understand why this works, look at this diagram showing the legacy method for airline internet. It relies on geostationary satellites, or GEO, parked 22,000 miles out in space. Because the data has a massive physical distance to travel, it creates high latency. Every time you click a link, the request has to travel to space and back before the page even begins to load. But watch what happens as the diagram adds Starlink's low Earth orbit, or LEO, constellation. These thousands of smaller satellites hover just 300 miles above the surface, firing tight, rapid data beams directly to receivers on the moving airplanes. This comparison reveals the core difference. By reducing the physical distance the signal travels, LEO networks cut latency from roughly 600 milliseconds down to less than 90 milliseconds. Hawaiian Airlines proved the viability of this specific technology in 2024, maintaining these high-speed LEO connections straight across the vast cellular dead zones of the Pacific Ocean. While SpaceX solved the physics of latency, the airlines faced a secondary hurdle: the overhead. They needed a way to fund space-grade data without passing the bill to the passenger. Broadcasting space-grade internet to hundreds of commercial jets moving at 500 miles per hour requires massive data contracts. It is an expensive service to maintain. The airlines found a way to bridge that cost. To access the high-speed Wi-Fi, passengers simply sign in to Atmos Rewards, the newly unified loyalty program bridging Alaska and Hawaiian. Getting casual flyers to sign up for frequent flyer programs is usually difficult. But when a passenger is offered 5 uninterrupted hours of free entertainment, they are much more likely to create an account right from their tray table. To actually pay the hardware and data bill, the airline secured a massive corporate sponsorship from T-Mobile. In the past, T-Mobile used in-flight internet as a retention tool, strictly limiting free access on partner airlines to their own existing mobile subscribers. Under this new deal, T-Mobile has shifted that approach. They are sponsoring the Starlink connection for every passenger on the plane, meaning AT&T and Verizon customers get the same free access. This functions as a calculated customer acquisition strategy. T-Mobile provides rival customers with hours of sponsored, high-quality streaming in the air. When those passengers eventually consider switching cell carriers on the ground, they've already had a positive, first-hand experience with T-Mobile's infrastructure. The structure allows the airlines to build their Atmos loyalty database, while T-Mobile handles the data costs. It is a financial loop that allows a mid-sized airline to offer a perk that even the largest global carriers struggle to match. This chart tracks the actual hardware installation across the fleet. 100% of Alaska's regional Embraer jets are already online, alongside the first 50 mainline Boeing 737 aircraft. The next phase happens this fall, when the wide-body fleet, specifically the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners, completes its hardware integration. This extends the high-speed network across the oceans, connecting West Coast hubs to long-haul international destinations like Seoul, Tokyo, London, and Rome. By combining Hawaiian's long-haul routes with Starlink's hardware, the post-merger airline is positioning itself to compete directly with the largest global networks. When a mid-sized airline group successfully deploys 500 megabit speeds at no cost, it forces the rest of the aviation industry to justify their own service levels. Many of the major legacy carriers still rely on a patchwork of older satellites and ground towers, often charging their economy passengers premium rates for much lower bandwidth. Once a traveler streams a 4K movie without friction over the Pacific Ocean on an Alaska flight, They are less likely to accept paying $15 for a connection that can barely load a text message on a different airline. This partnership shifts the financial burden of connectivity from the traveler to the corporate sponsor. By removing the paywall from a high-speed connection, Alaska and Hawaiian are forcing every other major carrier to decide if they can afford to keep charging for an inferior product.